What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen, back with another film room, and today we're going to actually discuss how bad has Xavien Howard actually been for this Indianapolis Colts secondary. We're going to break down some plays and see if he's just bad across the board or if our perception is being a little filtered here. Don't forget, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. Now, let's get to it. So on the very first drive, obviously they test Howard against Puka immediately. We're keeping an eye. Howard's up here. Puka's now coming into motion. As you can see, he gets up there to the top of the screen. The ball's about to be snapped. We get a play action, which it wasn't very good at all. Okay. Now, what I want you to see real quick, Latu is going to beat the right tackle. I mean, bad. He's going to get in here and get a hit on the quarterback as he's releasing to force a bad pass. Ball's going to be short. But let's keep an eye on Howard. As you can see, Howard's got his hips so that he can go inside, right? And he's backpedaling a little bit, giving Puka that space, right? Now, as Puka comes in, watch how he does a great job planting that foot. Watch how fluidly he turns his whole body to position to make sure that he is between Puka and the sideline to pin him at the sideline. Continues turning his hips, comes up, and he is stride for stride. As you can see right here, Latu's got a hold of Matt Stafford, forcing a bad pass. It's going to throw bump. But at this point, legitimately, you can't play that any better than what Howard did. He has positioned himself directly between the quarterback and the receiver, pinned him out there. It would take a perfect ball on the outside shoulder. Now, Stafford could absolutely do that. He's got the arm talent to do that, even at his age. But it would absolutely have to be perfect. And not every quarterback can throw a perfect ball every time. I don't think Howard can play and defend this route by Puka Nacua any better. All right, same drive, but this time he's on the right side of the field across from Puka. As you notice, Howard was following him while Charvarius Ward was following around Devontae Adams. Now, what I don't like about this is, where's his help? All right. Howard is a little bit of an older guy. Puka is very agile, very quick. I would give Howard some help here. He is on an island all by himself out here. But wouldn't have mattered because how well executed this play was. Let's keep an eye. Let's take a look and see how well this is just unbelievable. All right. Now, you get the snap. Immediately, they take off. Stafford, keeping an eye, he was looking straight back at the single high safety. As the blitz is coming, right? You got the blitz coming. Howard's got Puka. Howard now pins him to the outside. Look, he's already ramping up to throw this football. Puka just made his move. All right? And you can't get tighter than that. He's throwing the football. Puka ain't even... Look, the ball's released. Puka hasn't turned his head yet. And that is tight coverage. Puka stops, turns around. It's all timing, right? Stafford's throwing directly to the 35-yard line. Howard stops as quickly as he can when he notices Puka gets the stop and then makes the tackle. That is perfectly executed by Xavien Howard on that play. Now, there's not a cornerback out there, I think, that could have made that unless he was playing zone. But they're not. You know, he was manned up on him, following him step for step. And when you're doing that, you ain't looking at the quarterback. And those timing routes where the quarterback throws it at a specific time to a specific part of the field, if that's executed properly in man, you can't stop it. You can't. Because it's, that kind of stuff right there is tough. But you have to, again, make a perfect throw, perfectly timed, in order to make that completion. It's just, they did it. I can't blame Howard on that one at all. A couple plays later, let's keep an eye here. Again, Howard's on this side. What does that mean? He's not following Puka. Guys ain't switching. This is zone defense. All right. Puka's now going to come right over here to almost a fullback position. Right. Let's watch him as he runs over. This ball's hiked while he's still in motion. He's at fullback position. We've seen this route ourselves as the Colts fans for Tyler Warren. He's going to hit this hole, come out, and run a little sail route. That is going to be Xavien Howard's job in order to take care of this. Watch Howard eyeball. He sees Puka coming out. Now, he knows he's got help on the inside with the safety. Okay? So he's good. He's got his hips just in case the guy cuts inside, because he is inside. In case he cuts to the left. Puka now starts to come back around this way. Matt Stafford legitimately could throw this football here. He could throw it here or underneath. Now, this right here, that's your target. That's who you need to throw this football. Everybody's open except Puka. The only one not open right now, legitimately, is Puka Nacua, right? Howard's got him. Easy pitch and catch. Easy pitch and catch. Now, he's not easy now. But you got two guys right over the middle. Easy pitch and catch right here. Except Puka. Puka is covered well. He pinned Xavien Howard. Pinned Puka between himself. And I believe that was, I almost said Doss. Cross, number 20. So that took him out of the play. But again, you had two guys cutting right over the middle for easy completions. But again, Howard played Puka very, very well. This was a drop. My goodness. I bet he wishes he had that back, right? Same drive. Howard now on the outside playing zone coverage, right? Keeping an eye on the quarterback. Let's watch how this actually turns out because, oh my goodness. You see the tight end come outside, so that pushes Howard out a little bit more. Ball snapped. Here comes the four-man pressure. Howard's got a little bit deeps while you got linebacker short, right? Well, the ball's immediately thrown to the open guy because Howard's got his. But Howard sees it. Howard sees the throw right in front of him, immediately stops, cuts inside. Now, I legitimately don't like his angle because he went inside. He needed to take more of an outside cut due to the fact that he had linebacker help on the inside. So he needed to kind of bracket the tight end here, but he wasn't able to do that. But still, shoestring tackle. Good job by Howard. Coming off the guy that was coming around him, closing in, making the tackle. Here we are again. Howard, opposite Puka, right? On this play. This is a situation. I love this. Puka already cutting inside. You can see he's got him, defending right now the sideline. Puka comes out. Watch this whole series right here. I think this is some of the best adjustment I have ever seen a corner make in my life. Right here, Puka stops. Bam. Starts to turn around. Watch how quickly Howard adjusts to this out. Bam! Turns around with him. He is legitimately on his hip the whole way. The whole way. Look, I'm done doing these clips of how good Howard is going. Because right now, so far, I haven't seen a bad snap from Howard yet. Okay? And this is another drive down the... I'm just not seeing any bad snaps from Howard yet. We're going to go ahead and get through the film until we find something that is bad. And I'll tell you how deep into the film it is before I see it. All right, we're into the second quarter. Finally found something I wasn't overly happy with Howard. Again, we're in man coverage. Howard's in the slot because that happens to be where Puka is right now, right? Let's keep an eye. As this ball is snapped, man, the first thing I want to say is look at the crossing pattern. This is trying to get these guys right here to bump into each other, right? He's going to come outside. He's going to go inside, which means Howard has to come inside. He's got to go outside, but Howard has space. This was specifically designed to make sure there is space here to get Puka a little room over the middle to get a completion. And that's exactly how it's designed. Now, could he have... Let's watch. He's backing up. Now, what I don't like about this is he went backwards rather than sideways. Had he went sideways down the 30, he could have closed in a little bit. All right? But, as you can see, Puka uses a little bit of a juke to the outside, then plants and goes inside, which creates even more separation. And had he been on the 30 with him, he'd have been literally on his back, probably would have been able to put a hand in there because he had plenty of space behind him earlier. That is the first time I've seen something I didn't like from Puka, or from Howard, while he was covering Puka. And there's the catch, right? Now, had he been on the 30, he would have had the underneath route, probably would have been able to knock the ball down. Instead, he was behind him. It was just a little bit, 1 or 2 steps off on that coverage. That's all it was. 1 or 2 steps off of that coverage. But he does jump out there, grab him, and then Puka drags him down, picks up an extra 6-7 yards, due to that. But is what it is. It was a well-designed play to create space for Puka, and Howard kind of fed into it a little bit. Same drive. I just had to do this one right here. I just went through 4 plays where Howard wasn't even on the field. On an earlier drive, a longer drive, I saw another 3 plays where Howard wasn't on the field. And that's kind of odd considering cornerbacks generally play every snap. But apparently Howard gets some time off. Maybe that's an age thing. Maybe that's because he hadn't played last year at all. And he's, maybe not fully into football shape. I mean, we're 4 weeks in. He should be by now. But he has been getting some time off, apparently, during plays. But they're just throwing to Nacua the whole time, okay? Howard's on Nacua. All right, Nacua's right here in the slot. As you're going to see, he's going to bounce outside. Or not Howard, Puka is. Puka's going to move to the outside. Howard is going to move with him to cover him. And the ball is snapped. Puka hadn't even fully went to the stop yet. Ball snapped. Howard giving him time. Puka's running up. You see him try to juke inside. Then he cuts back to the outside. Howard wasn't buying none of it. None of it. Turns. And Puka's got gas going right now. I mean, he's cooking. He's trying to go down the sideline. Look, already thrown the football. The quarterback is just now released that football right as Puka made that move. And Howard is with him the whole way, looks up. It's just a perfectly placed football. How do you defend that? Puka has to dive to get that football. Howard is all over him. How in the hell do you defend that any better? I don't know. Tell me. I don't know how you defend that any better. All right, here's a play that's probably going to count against Howard as he's up here. They're going to, as you can see, they're quite a ways off. All of them are. It's coming near the end of the third here, and or the second, end of the second quarter. And they're playing kind of a prevent zone defense. So he's playing off their job, make sure nobody gets, deep shots. So let's, as you watch, this ball, snap, he's backing up, right? There he gets to the end of his steps, looks, he's looking right at the quarterback, looking directly at the safety. So he's looking off the safety to kind of freeze him. And right here, the receiver looks like he's coming outside or inside. He's already turning and getting ready to throw. Receiver ain't even looked yet. There he is. Bam. Now, again, Howard's job, make sure he doesn't go too far, doesn't get past him. That's his job. Make sure the receiver doesn't get past him. He never gets further than 2 yards away from that receiver. Keeps him 2 yards in front of him. But because he was able to do that inside curl, just well-timed, placed throw by Stafford, throwing the ball to a specific spot in zone coverage before the receiver ever, as the receiver's making the move or before the receiver makes the move, he throws to that spot. It's just executed well, okay? Especially when you're in, this kind of prevent zone defense. Could he have been a little bit tighter? Maybe. But in this defense, you are specifically supposed to keep the receiver in front of you at all times. And that's what he did. Never more than 2 yards away. And then, of course, safety comes over and helps with the tackle. I don't like the effort here afterwards. I will say that. I think he could have came in and helped with the tackle as well, but how many times have we seen 2 defenders come in to try to make a tackle and they just knock each other off? The one thing I have noticed about Howard is his effort in tackling in the run game. I'm not overly fond of that. I think he lacks effort when the run game happens. But outside of that, so far, I'm not seeing much at all that I could put against him. Here's a play that I was talking about and his lack of effort in the run game. As we got down here, you can see the left wing formation. They got set up. The ball's going to come in his direction. Keep an eye on Howard. All right. This is really bad effort right here by Howard. He backs away. You see all the blocking going on. Obviously, it's a run. Everybody's blocking down. He knows this is a run. All right, he goes to the outside to protect the outside. This should be him darting through and making a tackle right now. He should be darting in at him. He's trying to protect the outside. The running back cuts because now there's a hole right here. Now, why is he backing away from him? Why isn't he diving at his feet? He just stands there and watches him go by. That is not something I'm fond of at all. I'm of the, 100% every defensive player should be there for run support. That was piss poor run support, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm seeing from Xavien Howard. His coverage abilities have been really damn good. Run support's been ass. All right, the very next play after what I just saw, he probably thought it was ass as well. Here's Howard. Keep an eye on him, right? As this ball is handed off, and he's running up to the hole. There is a hole there, right? Howard now lowers his shoulder underneath to help stop the tackle. He could have probably ran in there a little more enthusiasm to cut the run down a yard or two shorter, but at least he was there to make the tackle. I'll give him that. All right, finally, at the end of the game, there's near the end of the game right here, I finally found a bad rep defending the pass for Xavien Howard. A truly bad rep. One? Really? Keep an eye. Howard's on the outside. Right? You got a guy. They're going to move him inside. Which that may have, but I doubt it. Considering the kind of vet he is. Might have messed him up a little bit. I don't think it did, though. What I don't like is this right here. For some reason, he let him right up on him this early. This early. He wasn't even moving backwards, which is what is hurting him, okay? You keep an eye. He's legitimately moving forward still. Right? Right there. Moving forward. Look, he actually takes a step forward towards him instead of backpedaling, which is what he normally does. And I think that messes him up big time. Little bit of footwork problem on this one. Okay? And because of that, this guy's already in a full sprint. Right? Dude's already in a full sprint. And he just stepped towards him, which immediately, there's all sorts of separation happening now. He's burnt badly, because he stepped towards him as they were near each other. Terrible footwork. I don't know if he was anticipating the pass, right? Well, let's go back here. Was the quarterback pump faking it or something? No. It was just terrible footwork. The one bad pass protection play that I've seen from Howard so far, and there's only about 4 minutes left of defensive film to look over. A whole game, I've got one so far. All right, last play. Before I look at this, man, just a reminder, please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell so that you are notified next time we go live or upload a video. Guys, here we are, Puka Nacua. It's the touchdown pass, and I'm watching this play, and I am not, look, hand fighting, good hand fighting right here, right in the middle. Nacua just turns 90 degrees on a dime. 90 degrees on a dime. Look how well he does that. He's pushing forward and turns 90 degrees on a dime. Howard has to make that angle in order to make a tackle. It was, again, a timing play, perfectly done, right in front of him. Don't see how he could make that any better of a defense right there on his part. It does end up as a touchdown, obviously, as you can see. But overall, I think, look, I don't think the Colts have a Howard problem. I think Colts fans, I think Howard has a Colts fans problem. Now, did he play poorly in other games and have some situations where you're like, oh my God? Probably. But in this game, he had one bad snap. One. And the rest of the game, I think he played absolutely superbly. Those 170 Puka Nacua yards weren't all on him because he wasn't on the field the whole time. A lot of times, some of those Puka Nacua catches were on Blackman and on Ward. Because there was times when, zone, right? And you're not moving with zone. So, I think Howard played a very good game against the Rams. Well, thanks so much, guys. Can't wait to look at the next film. As usual, have a good one.